Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you went there, or struggled to recall a name that was just on the tip of your tongue? This video is about why memory lapses like these become more common after the age of 50. Many people believe it's just part of getting older, that forgetfulness is something we all have to accept. But that's not the full story. Because science now tells us memory loss isn't always inevitable. In fact, some causes of forgetfulness after 50 are reversible. Others may be early signs of something deeper, and catching them early can make all the difference. This isn't just opinion. Studies from institutions like Harvard Medical School and the Alzheimer's Association confirm that changes in memory and cognition have many root causes, not just age. In this video, you'll learn why your brain actually starts to change after 50, which types of forgetfulness are normal and which are warning signs, and how you can start protecting your memory today with small changes that matter. Let's start by understanding what's really happening inside your brain. So what happens to the brain after 50? Well, around the age of 50, the brain begins to change in subtle ways. One of the most important changes is a natural slowing in the formation of new neurons, especially in the hippocampus, which is, the brain's memory center. The prefrontal cortex, which helps with decision-making and attention, also becomes less efficient. Blood flow to the brain can decline with age, which means fewer nutrients and less oxygen get delivered where they're needed most. But this doesn't mean the brain stops working. It simply means it's not quite as fast or flexible as it used to be. You may find that you need longer to learn something new, or maybe you struggle to multitask, or you occasionally forget appointments or names. These are normal signs of aging, but they don't mean you're developing dementia. And they definitely don't mean you're powerless. One major reason memory gets worse after 50 isn't age at all, it's stress. Chronic stress raises cortisol, a hormone that over time actually damages memory pathways in the brain. People in their 50s and 60s often carry more emotional weight than ever before. Careers, caregiving, health concerns, even grief. All of this, activates the body's stress system, which quietly wears down memory. Sleep is another overlooked factor. According to the National Institute on Aging, poor sleep reduces the brain's ability to consolidate memories. If you're waking often at night or struggling with insomnia, your brain just isn't getting the deep rest it needs to form and store memories. Then there's the hormonal shift. In women, menopause leads to a drop in estrogen, a hormone that protects the brain. In men, testosterone levels fall too, which can affect energy, mood, and yes, memory. None of these factors are your fault, but honestly, understanding them gives you something powerful: control. So how can you tell the difference between normal forgetfulness and something more serious? Well, here's what doctors consider normal: forgetting where you put your keys, taking longer to remember a word, or walking into a room and getting distracted. These things may feel frustrating, but honestly, they don't mean your brain is failing. But, certain changes really should not be ignored. For example, getting lost in familiar places, struggling to follow conversations or instructions, repeating questions within minutes, or having trouble managing finances or planning tasks. These could be early signs of mild cognitive impairment, or MCI. Now, MCI isn't the same as dementia, but it's often a warning sign, and early detection can slow or even prevent decline. In fact, research from the Mayo Clinic shows that lifestyle changes, when started early, can significantly protect brain function. So noticing these signs isn't just important, it's empowering. Another overlooked cause of memory trouble: medication side effects. Some common drugs, including those for blood pressure, sleep, anxiety, or allergies, can interfere with memory and focus. So can untreated health conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, depression, thyroid disorders, and even chronic pain. Each of these affects how well your brain functions. And then there's nutrition. Vitamin B12, omega-3s, and folate are essential for brain health. As we age, absorption can decline, meaning you may be deficient even if your diet seems healthy. That's why, blood tests are sometimes a better indicator than symptoms alone. The good news: These are all modifiable. When memory loss has a medical or nutritional cause, it often improves once that cause is treated. Let's talk about something that's rarely discussed, but critically important: inflammation in the brain. As we age, low-level inflammation can build up silently in the body. This is sometimes called inflammaging. It's linked to everything from arthritis to heart disease, but it also affects the brain. Chronic inflammation interferes with the communication between brain cells, making memory and focus more difficult. In fact, the Alzheimer's Association reports that inflammation is one of the key biological changes seen in early Alzheimer's. So what causes it? A diet high in processed foods, a sedentary lifestyle, chronic stress, and poor gut health. The gut and brain are connected through the vagus nerve. When your gut is inflamed, your brain often suffers too. The hopeful news is this: lifestyle changes can reduce inflammation significantly, and honestly, pretty quickly. You don't need a perfect memory. You need a healthy, reliable one. Here are 6 science-backed ways to protect your memory starting today. First, get regular movement. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain and encourages the growth of new neurons, especially in the hippocampus. Even a brisk walk daily can make a difference. Second, prioritize sleep. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night. This is when your brain consolidates memories and clears out waste proteins linked to dementia. Third, manage stress. Mindfulness, breathing exercises, or simply taking quiet time each day can lower cortisol and protect brain function. Fourth, eat for brain health. Focus on whole foods, leafy greens, berries, fatty fish, olive oil, and nuts. These are rich in antioxidants and healthy fats that nourish the brain. Fifth, stay socially and mentally active. Conversations, puzzles, learning something new, they all challenge your brain and help form new neural connections. And sixth, get regular checkups. Ask your doctor about vitamin levels, blood pressure, thyroid function, and medication side effects. Even small imbalances can affect memory. None of these need to be dramatic changes. Start small. Even one step matters. Let's pause for a moment, because forgetfulness doesn't just affect memory. It affects confidence. Many people over 50 begin to second-guess themselves. They may withdraw socially, avoid challenges, or feel ashamed. But memory loss is not a personal failure, it's a health signal. And just like any other part of the body, the brain deserves compassion, care, and support. You are not alone. And more importantly, you are not helpless. Your brain is still capable of growth, adaptation, and healing. Even in later life, it's never too late to make changes that protect your memory. If you or someone you love is experiencing memory loss that's getting worse, don't wait. Speak to a doctor. Catching cognitive decline early can lead to better outcomes, especially when it's due to a treatable condition. A simple cognitive screening, blood work, or medication review may uncover the real cause. And early support, through therapy, lifestyle changes, or memory clinics, can make a life-changing difference. Getting help is not a sign of weakness. It's an act of strength. And it's one of the best things you can do for your brain. Forgetfulness after 50 is common, but it's not something you have to silently accept. Sometimes it's normal aging. Sometimes it's a wake-up call. Either way, knowledge is power. The more you understand your brain, the more you can support it, with nutrition, movement, rest, and care. You don't need to feel afraid. You just need to stay informed. And that's exactly why Silver Memory exists, to give you calm, trustworthy guidance every step of the way. Thank you for watching. Take care of your brain. It's never too late to start.